This is another example. We're going to solve the triangle this time, so we actually have a lot of work to do. Notice I kind of filled it in. I just labeled triangle, however, very generically, A, B, and C, and then I filled in what I knew. We have side, angle, side, so you can't use law of sines. It's not a right triangle, so you can't use SOHCAHTOA. The only thing you can use then is law of cosines. The only thing you can find is side A. So I'm going to try to do this down here. This is A squared. How I fill this in, or how I like to teach it when I fill it in, is just to remind that what goes over here, if it's at all confusing, this is the thing we're finding. That means that the angle has to be over here. Cosine of 39.4. And you can fill everything else in. So B and C are kind of interchangeable. This will be 12 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 12 times 14. And as I said before, I wrote it down all before in the last video, each kind of step. Like I did the squares first, and then I did the multiplications, and then I just kind of did it all at once. I'm just going to do it all at once so we see what this should turn into. Nice 2 times 12 times 14 cosine 39.4. And this gave me, maybe we want to say 80.36. Doesn't really matter at this point because we're about to square root it. And it says 8.96. I'm going to say that that's 9. We got some nice numbers. So this is where you go from here. So we're on our way to solving this triangle. We use law of cosines to figure out this missing side. We have all sides. Now we should pause. Like at any point, you should always, if you're solving a triangle, you should always look to see if you can use law of sines because it's just faster. So I see now that I can use law of sines because we have angle A and a side A. So that's where we start. We say sine of my angle over its opposite side. And then we can choose which other side we want to find here. A good rule of thumb is always to solve for the largest angle when you use law of cosines. Alternatively, if you're stuck in law of sines, you may want to find the smallest angle because there is an ambiguous case. So I'll solve for sine of B. Ambiguous case meaning sometimes there's one case where sine doesn't work. Law of sines doesn't work, but we'll make it work. So, and then law of sines, as we've done before, we would just need to do this. We'd set it up like this. I did sine of B over opposite side B. Cross multiply. 9 times sine of B is equal to 12 times sine 39.4. We're solving for B, so we need to divide by 9 to both sides. This is going to give me some gross number, and then I'm just going to, instead of putting it all separately and doing step by step by step, I'm going to make the calculator do all the work. I'm going to say, you know, this would be, these 9s are gone, I just have sine of B equals this, but to get B by itself, I'm inverse sine of the other side. So it's the same thing we have. And I just want to make the calculator do all that work. So I'm going to start inverse sine, and then start typing everything in. 12 times sine 39.4, watch your parentheses, I'm closing that sine 39.4 off, divided by 9, and I arc signed it. I got B to be 57.8 degrees. And then the last part's a lot easier. You know, A plus B plus C, the angles need to add up to 180. So we could just figure that out right now. 57.8 and 39.4 give me 97.2. And then if you took 180 minus that, you would get 82.8. Again, I got this just because they all had to add up to 180. Okay, so that's using law of cosines if you have side angle side to solve a formula.